We did just get back from. Well, we didn't have to go anywhere because it was in San Diego.
Yeah, we went to. We just had Comic-Con.
Yep, it was fun.
It was fun, and people kept asking me. I have all friends and family ask me, "Well, it happened. You did Comic-Con. I know that's like your busiest time of the year. Like, how was it?" And to me, it's like it's the same,
dude. We've got it down to a system.
We had it down,
yeah,
and it was the same. It
was
nothing new.
You guys are crazy.
What?
I hate Comic-Con.
Oh, I don't like Comic-Con either, but we've streamlined it so it's easy.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, you know,
compared to the others, but
you guys were like in the booth and like stayed inside.
Yeah.
You
had to work for.
You were walking around. You were walking miles to go do stuff.
Yeah, you were working somewhere else.
I wanted to. When I was outside, I wanted to die.
It's so humid.
It was so the weather was miserable. On Saturday, there were more people outside the convention center than inside the convention center.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe how fucked downtown San Diego gets.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how crazy it is with the amount of people that go down there.
Just to people watch.
Yeah.
Or just be in the fucking way.
Soak up the hype.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then everyone was playing Pokemon.
Everyone.
Everywhere was lured.
And
everyone
had hats.
Yes.
Yep.
There were bootleg everything.
Everything is
outside
fucking
Balboa Park. We'll get into this later, but I went to a wrestling show that these guys put on. Super Wrestling Showdown. We'll talk about it later. But at Balboa Park, Beck and I walked around. It was all the same situation, and people selling hats, like vendors.
Yep.
Like,
dude.
We got all your Mystics here. It's like
people selling Gatorades and M&Ms and just setting up like Pokestop.
Crazy.
Why not?
Crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Making money. Why not? Yep. Anyways,
if there's a little kid, that's the new lemonade stand right now.
Yes.
That's the new lemonade stand. Kids who have like, I have all these Skittles and I'll put them in a little cup and I'll sell a Gatorade and whatever. Do it. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? I saw some videos. I think it was on Reddit of like people like, oh, they found a Charmander in Central Park, and it was like hundreds of people converging. I'm like, that's fucking fake. I don't know what they're doing with their phones, but there's no way it's Pokemon Go. And in Belmont Park, it was the same.
Real.
I saw. I'm like, oh,
that
it's
shit
real.
Is real.
I'm in it. I'm doing it with them right now.
That's what I said.
It was 10:30
Yeah.
p.m. and it was as if it was just a Saturday normally in the day.
Yeah.
Everything was open and stuff like that. There's people all over.
Balboa Park is always a pretty crowded place, even at night.
Yeah.
But like, it's on a whole nother level right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
Comic-Con was busy as fuck.
You gotta get those Flareons, you know?
Yeah. But you know, people are, with everything that's popular, people get annoyed with it and mad about it, but I think it's awesome. I really think that it's so cool that everyone's like, I'm talking to people like I would never talk to otherwise. Like, oh, you see this thing? And like, it's like bringing people together, I feel.
It's an instant icebreaker.
And like, anyone can play it. Anyone of any age can play it. I think it's awesome.
And that's why I'm saying augmented reality is
sure. I get
the future in this stuff.
It's something,
not virtual reality.
Yeah.
What's the barrier of entry for this? Have a phone?
Yeah.
I still prefer
with a camera.
Lights just being in the living room though.
I understand. I'm not playing Pokemon Go personally.
Yeah, I got you.
I have nothing against it, and I'm glad people are enjoying it or whatever. This to me, it's a fad. It'll go away, and that's fine. I'm really glad that people are playing it and having a good time with it and everything. But like, I have no interest personally in the game.
I'm really enjoying this skin of augmented reality. Like this Pokemon thing is familiar to me. I'm totally hooked. I feel like I might play too much and annoy my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see, what's the next game that uses my camera and my GPS?
There will be others, but I feel like this one, everyone knows Pokemon. Hey, what time is it?
Oh, excuse me.
You're late.
We were right!
We were right.
We fucking nailed it.
But you know what? He's got a smile on his face.
Yeah. This is all bit.
There were bets. We thought you'd be mad when you got here.
Should I come in frowning?
No. I thought you'd be happy. I thought you'd be happy.
Yeah.
Hello, hi.
Hey.
I brain farted. Remember when we used to do the podcast at 7?
Exactly.
Yeah, we fucking nailed it almost to the minute.
Almost.
What was going to happen?
45 is what you said, right?
Yeah.
I thought I'd be right on time. No.
Yeah.
I'm here for the tail end. And I was planning for this to be such a good podcast, and it sucked.
How do you know?
Wait.
Know.
Hey, Derek, we got a new compressor. You see those levels going up there?
Yeah, you can scream all you want.
You can go get close, baby. Give it a nice little introduction.
Yeah.
Do it.
I bet you I will break the.
No.
It's gonna start smoking.
We're
I'm
compressed.
gonna yell louder than I've ever yelled in my whole fucking life.
Fuck.
Because I can't believe I'm this late. I can't believe I fucked up. Ah! Ah!
That was
You
great.
got the red.
That was
the red.
That was weird. You got super red and then not super red really fast.
Did we get a 1 in the chat? Are we still good with the audio? No one's computer exploded.
Did it blow up or anything?
Oh.
You know what though? I'm not actually angry, so I feel like if I was angry, I could go even louder. Like my hair would turn gold and the seat would light on fire.
Mm-hmm.
They say it worked, so we test it.
We are compressed, baby. Number ones all around.
But anyways, as I was saying, I think Pokemon Go is a great time killer. Like I had 20 minutes to kill before the wrestling show last night. Played Pokemon Go with Beckett. It was a lot of fun.
You know what? I'm definitely getting more vitamin D because it got me out like
if you get Gary out of the house,
early. I went down to Belmont Park legit 2 hours before the wrestling. Before I had to be there, which was still an hour.
Go.
I got there.
You guys have been calling it Belmont Park
for
like,
that's it.
for like
Me too.
20 minutes.
I know he did.
Both of you are Belmont Park.
I'll let Garrett slide on
You
this
have
one.
both
No,
taken
I heard
Belmont
you do
Park.
it earlier too and thought the same thing.
Balboa Park.
Fuck
It's
me.
all the same.
Who cares? No locations, please.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Anyways, so Comic-Con was the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone is playing everywhere. It was the badge system this year had a chip in it, and you had to scan in to get in and out of the front, which I think is why there was less people inside and more people
I have a theory
outside.
that it was bullshit. I think that they had those RFID sensors and you put your thing up to it and it turns green. How is that different from any other year having somebody at the door just look at your badge?
Well,
I think that mentally it was a deterrent.
You can't counterfeit.
Like you're not
that's
going
one
to.
thing.
You can't counterfeit it, but I feel like honestly at Comic-Con the main method of sneaking in is not to get a counterfeit badge. It's somebody with a badge take theirs off and give it to you. In which the RFID tag, I didn't see a single instance of it deterring that, other than people didn't want to try it.
I was coming in one day.
Yeah.
The guy in front of me scanned his thing, and it went red, and there was a guy standing there, and he looked at it, and it went red, and the guy went, oh, didn't, and then I scanned mine, and the guy in front of me just walked off. Mine went green. Nobody stopped him.
Didn't stop him.
He was in.
Yeah.
The way I get in is
because I was
not
worried
through the front.
I was worried that my thing would malfunction and turn red, but then I just thought about it. I was like, if my badge turns red, I'm fucking going in.
Yeah,
You try and stop me. I'm going in.
I all weekend long, I never scanned my badge once.
You what?
Really?
Yeah, the way I go about the rigmarole, getting there and
you
everything,
go a different way.
it brings me in through the back, and I
They have sensors in the back.
The sneaky back
No,
entrance.
not the way I go through.
I know what
really?
you're talking about. That's funny.
Yeah, so it never really was, implemented for
Never
me. So
scanned it.
I never got scanned. I didn't even know what it was.
Did you guys get any comics at Comic-Con?
No.
Someone came by with
Somebody
some
came by
comics.
with comics.
I got some Fight Club 2
I got a
comics.
shit ton of comics. Whoever that was, thank you so much.
Rocco got some Power Rangers.
Rocco
stuff, too.
got the booty of
course.
Power Rangers comics. He's in heaven. He's at home right now.
That's why he's at home.
Smothering himself with them. But the person dropped off a couple copies of DK3, Batman, Dark Knight the Third for me.
Oh,
Which,
hell
thank you. Couple things for Garrett, couple things for Rocco. I don't know your name, but you dropped off some random comics as well, and I read some of them, and they were awesome.
Oh, some
Really?
stuff he recommended. He worked at a comic book shop up California. Northern
Yeah,
California.
he
Maybe Washington.
one of the comics he recommended was
Oregon.
I Hate Fairyland, which is one that I read that I'm going to go ahead and recommend right now. I Hate Fairyland. It was really cool. It reminded me of The Goon in ways. It's kind of silly. It's almost like a dark cartoon. It's about this girl who gets trapped in like Wonderland. Almost like if Alice never escaped Wonderland after 30 years.
And was sick of it.
And was sick of it and was still a 6-year-old girl. And she is like super violent, like kills everybody she comes across.
Oh, wow.
And just like, she's on this quest, this fairy tale quest to get sent back home, but it's taken her 30 years and it's just like endless for her. And she's super violent. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Really cool.
Yeah, there were a couple others. I came home with a huge stack of comics this year, which rarely happens. I've been reading comics all week. It's been pretty cool.
Really?
Wow.
I got a figure. I got a NECA exclusive figure of the little girl from Aliens. Newt.
Oh yeah.
Newt.
That was about all I got figure wise.
I don't know why people like Newt so much. I love Aliens, but as a kid, I was like, oh, Newt is me. I would be the kid in this situation.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'm like, Newt sucks. Newt is just a problem, and it doesn't help the situation whatsoever.
For me, it was definitely like there's appeal because it's an exclusive. I mean, what does that mean? But it's a con exclusive.
Yeah, you can only get it at Comic-Con.
But I have Ripley, Bishop torn in half.
That's cool.
And a bunch of aliens in tubes already, or facehuggers in tubes. So I just thought like I could build the fucking perfect scene with Newt and the aliens in the tubes.
You could play with them all together.
You could play with the perfect toy
I was
set.
like, I gotta assemble the scene.
You gotta get it.
So that was like the only figures I got. I always go to this guy who's off in one corner and sells a bunch of records.
Yeah.
And I found some records that I knew he would have, and
I
was
got
happy
this
about
shirt
that.
at Comic-Con.
Oh, I got this shirt
awesome.
at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the best thing to get at Comic-Con, shirts and posters,
T-shirts,
I think. And just like random merchandise and memorabilia.
Yep.
Like the movie
Old
thing.
video games sometimes you can find. It's
the movie thing
though.
is like the fucking sirens calling you to the rocks, wanting you to smash your boat, basically enticing you to ruin your time at Comic-Con.
It is.
If you chase the new movie news, you're stuck in line for Hall H for like 3 days.
What is the point now that
it's
on?
It's online
Twitter
within minutes.
In a second after it happened, you don't need to be there.
You spend all day, even on the exhibit hall, waiting in line to get autographs, and there's so much other cool stuff that you can experience if you just kind of like tune all that out.
Yeah. You know what? I got into Hall H for the first time in about 4 or 5 years.
Oh, it was for the alien panel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens panel.
How was that?
Was Newt there?
Newt was there.
How old was she?
All grown up. Rebecca.
Romaine.
Newt. No, the character's name. I don't remember the actor's name.
Newt
No, she's a teacher. She's an elementary school teacher, and you can kind of see like in her face, like that's that girl. That's crazy. But yeah,
that's
she's
what
like
happens.
yeah,
Cool, man.
still recognizable, but didn't go into acting or anything.
That's
like
because
that.
she's a teacher.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was a cool panel because it was James Cameron was actually on it, the director, and it was more of kind of just reminiscing on how it was to shoot that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
the only panel I went to was our
interesting.
panel.
But anyway, Hall H.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't been to a
was the
panel.
best panel.
How was that, Derek?
It was the best panel.
Our panel was
of
the best
Comic-Con.
panel.
Yeah.
It was the
ruled.
best panel.
If you didn't go to our panel, you missed out. It was the best panel of Comic-Con. We played Truth or Dare.
I thought Eric was going to throw up on
Me
stage.
too.
Legitimately, I thought you were going to
Eric
throw
almost threw up on stage.
That scared me.
We
I didn't want to
prank
look at
called
him.
somebody's mom
I
on
traded clothes
stage.
with Rocco. We'll put it on YouTube at some
Yeah.
point, I'm sure.
We filmed it all.
It was great.
Great.
Mhm.
And everyone could get in who wanted to, unlike Anime Expo. It was perfect.
And if you want to see our panel, our next one will be at PAX Prime in Seattle.
Which is now PAX West, I found out.
Yeah.
I was corrected
Dude,
by Rocco.
oh, fucking pick a name and stick with it, okay? I'm going to call it PAX. That's it.
That's what it was.
It's
Yeah.
PAX.
See you in San Antonio.
My original point about Hall H, which is the total opposite of what our panel room was like, because it was just fucking going off once the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
But in Hall H, it's just people camping. It's like everyone setting up and laying out like jackets and backpacks and like eating fucking.
I saw an inflatable
everyone's like
mattress.
eating nachos.
I saw inflatable mattresses.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's
Inflatable
people that want to
mattresses,
get away.
Yoga mats, sleeping bags.
They just want to get out of the convention, so they just go sit in those seats and camp in the darkness because it's air conditioned and it's fucking dark as hell while whatever's going on stage. It sucks. It's a huge camp zone.
I'm gonna dish out. I've figured out what the problem with Comic-Con is.
Dish, man.
Oh no.
This is gonna sound super negative, but I don't really mean it to be negative. But this is just an observation because I felt like Comic-Con was a little bit muted this year. Was a little bit subdued. Like wasn't as crazy as it has been in the past years.
Sure.
Inside, definitely, I agree.
Especially in the exhibit hall.
Yeah.
And this is what I realized. I feel like Comic-Con was the first convention I went to ever, and for a long time it was the only convention I went to, so I didn't have a point of reference of what other conventions were like and what a convention could be. And I realized when we go to PAX, a video game themed convention, or when we go to Anime Expo, an anime themed convention, everybody there is passionate about the subject. Passionate.
Yeah.
You can talk about the subject of the convention with anybody there and make a shit ton of friends.
Right.
You can walk to one of those conventions by yourself and find a group of friends and hang out with them for the whole convention.
Oh, for sure.
And just bond over the point of the convention.
Your love of whatever that is.
And Yeah, exactly. And then I started thinking about there's other types of conventions that aren't nerdy. There's like agriculture conventions. If you're really into farming, you could talk about silos.
Hell yeah.
And business conventions, you could talk about fucking numbers. Now imagine if one of those conventions was as popular as Comic-Con. If it was just people with strollers and babies like, oh, tractors. Okay. Is there any Johnny Depp stuff? No. Okay. Silos. Okay. It was just like a lot of people.
What is this? What do you
paid
do?
so much money to check it out, and it was like they were just checking it out for the first time ever. It was like they'd never seen comics before.
Well, a lot of it is people now. It's such a big thing. It's almost like they can show off to their friends that they went to Comic-Con
It's a
and
brag
they got
to
into
get in.
Comic-Con. And I talk to some people like, oh, I have to go to Comic-Con this once so I can tell, see what it's like. And it's like everyone who I talked to who has done that hated it.
Yeah.
Every single
And
person.
I kept asking people who would come up to our booth. I'd be like, "What have you seen that's cool at Comic-Con? What are you looking forward to doing?" And the answer was always, "I don't know." No, I don't know.
I came for you guys, which we appreciate.
Hey, you came for us, and that was
Thank you.
great. But there were even other people who didn't come for us. There's most of the people at Comic-Con, believe it or not, were not there for us.
No.
And everybody I talked to, like, what are you looking forward to? It was like they were super unprepared. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what's here.
Yeah.
Why am I here?
We have the most downtime at Comic-Con as far as like hanging out in the booth.
Yeah.
It's fun. I've learned to love it a lot more. I used to really dread it, but like this Comic-Con, it was like indistinguishable from the last 3 and probably the next 3.
Right.
And it was just, we've got it down to a science how we load in and pack out.
Yeah.
We all kind of work in shifts so we don't have to stand there for 10 hours straight.
Right.
But
we got it down.
I feel sad sometimes because people come out, they're like, "You're not going crazy. Like, why not? Why no dance party this year?" But it's like, you know what? We did those for a few years, and then they would stop, and we'd take the masks off, and it was as if we did nothing at all. People were still just like walking by, not paying attention. So it's like, all right, maybe we'll save that for a different convention.
Its charm wore off at a point, for sure. But I mean, there are always rare instances that we get.
Oh, sure. We did it. RTX was great.
Yeah.
No, at other conventions, it's better because people are.
But Anime Expo was really muted this year for us too at the booth. I don't know what that was. That might have been just because we were so busy.
Well, Anime Expo was a whole different.
Well, there was all that
issue.
Sabotage we dealt with.
Anime Expo would have been a lot crazier if people could actually find their way into the convention. Most of Anime Expo was Sidewalk Expo.
Or was what happened at your panel? Which, if you ask that, that's fine. But we did explain that a lot.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I guess it shouldn't have shocked me, but it did. Is the number of Harley Quinn cosplayers for this new fucking movie were at Comic-Con.
Daddy's
it was
Girl.
Billions of them. I can't believe the movie's not out.
You don't like Daddy's Girl?
Holy shit.
It's a good look, though. That's
It
like
is.
the new fashion trend.
It's like the hottest juggalo I've ever seen.
You know what, though? No Jay Leto's. No
I
Jared
saw
Leto's.
4 or
saw a
5.
few.
A couple.
Yeah, a couple.
I saw literally hundreds
more
of the Harley
Caesar
Quinns.
Romero Jokers.
It's gonna be a good
I saw a lot of those too.
than Jay Leto.
No Heath Ledger Jokers. Didn't see any of those.
No, bring back Caesar Romero. Clearly, that's what the public wants.
Yeah, remember how many nurse Jokers there were?
There was so many.
Heath Ledger in the nurse outfit?
Yeah.
Not as many Deadpools.
Not as many
No.
Deadpools.
Only saw
It was the Harley Quinn.
But,
that was the hot
but
cosplayer.
every Deadpool I saw was as annoying as 10 Deadpools
Yeah, they-
Oh,
put
okay.
together.
They picked up the slack.
Hyped it
Yeah,
up.
they were. Every Deadpool I saw was a red and black butt wiggling in
Can
front
I-
of some stupid people taking pictures of him.
Can I tell you? This didn't happen, but I was this close.
Yeah.
Kevin brought the Deadpool costume. I was gonna go home and
Yeah.
put it on and be a fuck
That would've been
asshole.
great.
And I was gonna fuck with the shirts and mess them up, and
Yeah.
maybe
You
going
would've
back,
just-
I tiptoe around some of that to see what you guys would have done.
I wish you
That would've been
would
great.
have done that, and I wish you didn't even just say that.
Somebody
outside.
would have
Yeah.
chewed you out
Oh,
so fucking
oh,
hard.
I
You
know.
or Rocco
Yeah.
probably
Or
would've-
Eric.
And I was
Yeah.
saying, if they're not gonna be action, I'll go for the money box, and then
Yeah.
all bets are off. They'll push me, whatever they'll do.
I
This
feel
would be
like
great.
your body language, you'd really have to act
Yeah.
fucking
You'd have to
goofy.
cover up
your
You'd
I-
really have to
I
cover
would
it.
do it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was just.
Somebody stop.
It was just.
You're
But
fucking
he brought
ass.
it. I was
Yeah.
so close to doing it.
Uh,
But anyways, yeah. Anyways, that was Comic-Con. It was the same.
it was a good time,
But
but,
thank
it
you
was
for
the same.
everyone.
Yeah.
The
Thank you for
Comic-Con bubble is bursting. Mark my words.
Best panel in a long time there, though.
I-
That was a
I-
super
That was a fun
Oh, our panel is better than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who was running panels loved it. Yeah, because he has to sit through like
boring shit.
vloggers and stuff all day, and then we come in and we're chugging water and doing all these crazy things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a foot massage. It's great.